I'm feeling old and tired of it all and don't believe I have much purpose left to fulfill on the planet. Is there a process one can begin if they are ready to leave the earth but not suicidal? Can we begin a conversation with our guides, asking them to help us hasten our exit from here? I mean, that's a complicated question because I truly believe that if you're here, you're meant to be here, even if you feel done, but I honor how you're feeling. And I think that, we have to be delicate with that question, right? Because everybody's experience is different and everybody has free will. But the first thing that immediately came in, Daryl, is if you're here, you're meant to be here for whatever reason. It doesn't mean that you can't leave. Of course you can leave. But I will say this. We have a planned exit date, most of us. And so if your planned exit date hasn't come, then you are trying to create your exit date, which means that it's based on your ego, which means that it's not in your divine plan. So life is tough and you want out and it sucks. And you can absolutely start to connect to your guides and figure out what is best. But most likely your guides are going to tell you you can do whatever you want. But if your death date isn't in front of you, then then it's not time. And that this is just the aspect of the human in a state of like suffering or F this, or I'm done. I want out. I'm done. I'm tapping the freak out. I'm over this. I get it. Maybe not in the same level that you get it, but I get that lens. I understand that lens. How many times have we been in meditations where our guides have said, this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the faint of heart. And we are kind of like, oh yeah, okay, let me go pay my bills and take my kids to school. But you are an example of what they mean, right? It can be very challenging. And there is no absolute answer for you. But if you really listen to your guides, they'd probably tell you it's not time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking the question. So you're here for a reason, even though you don't want to hear that. And even though this sucks and you're tired of it. I don't know what the reason is that you're here. And I don't want to say that if you left, you would wish you were back down, but almost every single channeled person that's ever come in has said that. And yet I honor what you're feeling. I completely understand it. So sit deeper into why you're here. Sit deeper into perhaps asking your guides, what is the answer? They're going to tell you that you have the answer, but maybe starting to journal with your guides a little bit more. Start journaling more. And dissecting what's pulling you into that decision. So if it's we do plan most of us do plan our exit date. I would also recommend, Daryl, if you're in Mighty Networks, maybe just connecting to people. Maybe just asking if anybody else is feeling this, has felt this. Because I'm not feeling like you're necessarily suicidal, but I think that you are starting to choose an exit plan because you're done. And I'm curious if others have been in that state and have been able to say, all right, I'm about to turn right. And maybe I'm going to rethink this, and they turn left. I'm pretty sure there's probably people in here. Maybe just having conversation with other people in this network. I don't know, maybe it will help you figure out what you want to do. I just don't believe, Daryl, that you're here in this community, that you're connected to me and everything that I do and everything I teach and remind to leave. The most miraculous, holy shit, you must be kidding, what are we in experience that consciousness can ever have. I just can't imagine that you're designed to exit stage left early. But I completely understand the challenge. I do. I think a lot of people here do. Reach out on Mighty Networks. And if there's anybody here that has felt this, that has suggestions, or maybe just an ear to just listen to Daryl, I don't know. But don't go and send him all kinds of things because he's not asking. I'm just saying if he asks, right? Yeah. Apparently, Stuart has a lot to say about that. So, Stuart, maybe you and Daryl can connect if Daryl wants to. I'm not saying, I'm not creating anything, but sometimes to just sort of get out everything, that is better than anything, you know? I'm also seeing really quickly before we move on. This is going to sound really weird. I'm just going to share it. They're showing me you outside, like playing with bugs, or like playing with like ants, or beetles, or I don't know, weird bugs, things. I don't know, maybe that's what you did when you were younger, as a child, and it helped you process the world. It helped you escape the world. But they're telling me to tell you to go back outside and to sit and to focus on the bugs, like to focus on, to get out of the doom and gloom of your own state, your own, what you're going through. Go watch the ants, go watch the spiders, go watch the bees. I don't know, but that's what they're suggesting. And one more thing, it's possible that you are processing a lot of the collective trauma in your own body. It's possible. Many light workers are here to this is a doozy, okay? Check this one out. There literally are light workers on the planet, God bless them, that are strictly designed, because the Earth does this as a planetary body, the Earth does this, but the human's body can process, almost like a water filter, the collective shadow, the lower frequencies. So I want you to imagine, okay, that as your body starts to express sadness, okay? Your body has to filter that sadness through in order to go away, in order to dissolve, okay? There is a there are collective emotional states that create the collective shadow that are constantly being expressed in order to dissolve out of the collective. And there are light workers on the planet that are like car washes. And they are strictly here to process the collective's emotional states. That's it. And it's a very potent and powerful role. And there's many of them. And if you are one of them, you most likely may feel the way you feel, Daryl. It's overwhelm. It's I'm out. Enough is enough, especially if this is going to continue. I'm exiting. Stage left. So if that resonates in any part of you, it's possible that that's what your guides want you to know as well. That you're actually doing your work and your purpose. Because I don't think you're supposed to leave. I think you're supposed to go outside and play with the bugs. And breathe. And reconnect with why you're here. A lot of light just turned on from this. Holy heck. Yeah. I think that was what you needed to remember. And I think that if there are other people, you guys, that you know that are in that same state, you see, I didn't say to Daryl, this is who you are. You never want to tell somebody who they are because you have no idea. You always want to just express it as this is possible. There are people like this. You know, just a blanket statement. And if it resonates with the person, it will activate them. You are not in charge of activating them. You are not in charge of telling them who you think they are. Right? So I think that a lot of people that are in these states could very much be these type of light workers. We need them. It's necessary. It's a necessary part of this evolution. The energy, collective energy, has to be processed. That's why there's a lot of grid workers, because what the grid workers are doing, so just a completely different side note, super random right now, but the earth as a consciousness is held in the planetary body. And what she does is she processes the collective energies as well. And she processes them through physical disasters like tornadoes, volcano eruptions, tidal waves, like all of these things that we believe are caused by environmental things. Many of them is actually the earth processing or clearing out collective emotional states. That's a hard one to wrap your head around, so you don't have to hold that. But it is what she does in her body. But again, that's a real big one to grab. But anyway, the point is, Daryl, we all appreciate your service work if that does resonate with you and if you are that type of light worker. And we would really appreciate it if you did not leave because we need you here. So there's that. Yeah, I think it's not necessarily suicidal, you guys. It's more of just like I'm literally consciously choosing to no longer be here and I'm going to do it in a conscious way, but I'm out. Instead of I'm so depressed, I'm going to kill myself. It's a very different energy. But if it's that energy, most likely they're not designed to leave. That's not their exit date. And there may be much more going on that they are doing unconsciously as the light worker or as a worker here. Okay. I hope that helped, Daryl. I really do. Please reach out to us here in Mighty Networks. Okay. Reach out to us. I'm really happy you asked that question because it gave us all insight into other light workers. Okay. Ines, how can I coexist as master and human and go beyond the illusion of separation.